The headline is how sad stack Stooges for right-wing billionaires pretend that they're patriots. And I'm just going to run through this. I mean, you know, these guys, they show up at the school board and city council meetings literally wrapped in the American flag in some cases, carrying a machine gun or an AR-15 or a pistol in one hand and a Bible in the other, screaming obscenities and threats at public officials. They demand that our children be exposed to COVID in school, and then they support governors and legislatures that in 12 Republican-controlled states have refused to expand Medicaid. So when those kids and their families, low-income kids and their families, get sick from being forced to go to school without masks, there's nobody to pay for their treatment. They expect, you know, millions more health bills, medical bills coming along. They forbid teachers from teaching sex education outside of the abstinence-only programs that Reagan started in 1982, that Barack Obama put on hold in 2010, and that Trump not only put back in, but tripled the budget for. These are sex education programs that don't mention birth control. They only mention the fact that no man will want you, young lady, if you have sex before you're married. And then, on top of that, when girls get pregnant, as young women tend to do, intentionally or generally unintentionally, they make it very, very difficult to get an abortion. In Texas, it's functionally illegal. They insist that global warming is a hoax, these people. And they fight like hell to keep hundreds of billions in taxpayer subsidies flowing to the fossil fuel oligarchs. You know, they threaten violence if you just bring up carbon taxes, electric cars, or, for God's sake, LED light bulbs. They encouraged an attack on our U.S. Capitol, as well as on several state capitals. They invaded the Capitol here in Oregon. In Michigan, they tried to kill the governor, Gretchen Whitmer. They tried to kill Vice President Mike Pence. They tried to kill Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. They complain about the American carnage of our century-old infrastructure. But if politicians talk about, well, let's raise taxes on the well-off and the morbidly rich to pay for that, they threaten a new civil war. They demand prayer in schools and one nation under God at public events, but completely disregard Jesus' teaching that when you pray, you should go in your closet and do it privately. Their preachers openly violate U.S. tax law so that you and I are paying for their fire and their police protection and their public roads and utilities, all while, again, defying both Jesus and the founders of this country, saying that church and state should be separate. They attack colleges and academics, and they support over $1 trillion in student debt, something that happens nowhere else in the civilized world, while demanding protective tariffs against countries who are technologically outpacing us. Why? Because they have a better educated workforce. They claim to be Christians, yet they oppose government-supported food stamps and housing support, just right in the face of Matthew 25. They claim to believe in democracy, yet they push laws making it harder to vote and making it easier for goons in militia garb to show up as so-called poll observers to intimidate those who actually want to vote. They say they're on the side of working people, but they hate unions. Bottom line, they claim to be America's best patriots, these people. They're not. They're wrong. They're tragically deluded. In fact, these people that we're seeing on TV every day, you know, shouting in school board meetings and showing up here and there, they're actually sad sacks stooges for the right-wing billionaires who don't want their polluting industries regulated or their taxes raised. They are the gullible patsies of hustlers claiming religion inspires them while fleecing their parishioners so that they can get a new private jet or a new mansion in Hawaii. They are sexually insecure men who are being played as marks by the NRA and the weapons industry, who keep telling them, you know, if you just strap an AR-15 prosthetic penis across your back, it makes you seem more masculine. They are the grown-up elementary school bullies who turn to violence as children to conceal their inability to keep up in the classroom, and now they're doing the same when they don't understand basic science about things like COVID. They're pathetic men who have spent their lives yelling, "Hey, baby," at women and then wondering why none ever walk up and say, "Hey, how about a quickie?" They're white chumps who are convinced that they're genetically superior to everybody else. And they're terribly confused when they see non-white people on TV or in politics who seem really smart. They're the useful idiots of foreign autocrats who send millions of trolls and publish fake news across social media every single day because a functioning American democracy is a threat to their own wealth, power, and appearance of legitimacy. The autocrats, these dupes, they're dupes for billionaire media families and their TV and radio hosts who are laughing all the way to the bank as they crank the outrage machine harder and harder to keep their suckers glued to the dial. It's really sad when you think about it. These people, this morning, Stephanie Miller, in fact, whose show precedes mine on a lot of these stations, came right out and said, the people dying in the hospitals right now, almost without exception, are Trump voters. This is what has been done to them. These cult followers. They think they're patriots, but in fact, they're suckers and dupes and rubes. They're not patriots. They have been screwed for 40 years by Reaganomics. They've been told that it's raining while that trickle down is just America's oligarchs pissing on them. And they're looking for someone to blame. And Trump and right-wing media have told them for years that their troubles are caused by people of color or scientists or what was the phrase that Reagan, I think, used to use? Pointy-headed liberals. Maybe that was Nixon. Scientists, unions. The unions are the fault. And the coastal elites. I got an email from Donald Trump yesterday saying the coastal elites are trying to destroy America. It was one of his daily fundraising emails. Sometimes I get 3 of them a day. I got one from Newt Gingrich yesterday, begging for money for Ronald Reagan, for Donald Trump. And they're believing it, these people. I mean, it would be tragic. It would be sad. It would be something I would be sympathizing with and empathizing with if they weren't turning to violence. Instead, they've become a genuine threat to both the law-abiding Americans who are getting attacked in stores for just wearing masks, who are, just trying to run their school and decide, do we need to hire another lunch person? And instead they've got people screaming Marxism at them and people from right-wing militia groups who don't even have kids showing up at school board meetings terrorizing them. They are a threat to law-abiding Americans and to the stability of this democratic republic. And I think it's time that we need to stop coddling them. We need to stop. We were told, don't disrespect the Trump voters back in the day. And now we're being told, don't make fun of the people who won't get vaccinated or who are showing up at school board meetings, with guns and Bibles and screaming about crazy stuff. Well, to hell with that.